So the film starts by showing Javier, who has a luxurious house and a car, which makes him appear very rich. But in reality, he hasn't had a job for a long time. Because of this, his family's financial condition is very bad. Javier appeared in many job interviews but couldn't get selected in any of them. One evening, when he returned home feeling down, his wife advised him to sell his luxurious house and car. Javier had to agree, even though he didn't want to. She had also fired her housekeeper, who was very sad about losing her job. She threw the duplicate keys at Javier and left. Javier had now shifted to a small apartment. He also joined a short course to improve his profile so he could get better job opportunities. Along with this, he kept appearing for interviews. He failed in many of them, but finally, he got a job. He was very happy, but only until he found out that he had to work for the first 6 months as an intern without any salary. It meant he had to work for free just to gain experience. Javier was now extremely disappointed. He refused the job and walked away. While leaving, he found the same keys in his car, the ones his housekeeper had thrown at him. He picked up those keys and turned toward his old house. He stood outside for a long time, and when he noticed the new residents had left, he quietly entered the house. Inside, Javier saw a photo of the new owner. He looked out at the beautiful view from the house, a view he could never forget. He spent a lot of time there. It made him feel better. Then, he returned to his current home. He came back again the next day. This time, he began searching through the house. He found several documents and a red-colored token. The token was from a rehab center. To find out who used to go there and why, Javier turned on their computer. From the computer, Javier discovered a lot about them. A year ago, the family had an accident because the owner was driving drunk. That's why his license had been canceled for a year. He also found out the owner's daily schedule and learned that the new owner was going to the rehab center the next day at 3 p.m. The next day, Javier also arrived at the rehab center where people come to overcome their addictions. The owner had also come. Seeing Javier there for the first time, people started questioning him too. Javier began to make up a false story. He said he was an alcoholic, and because of that, his wife and daughter had left him. His story matched closely with the life of the new owner, and that was exactly what Javier wanted. Soon, the two of them started talking and became good friends. We get to know the man's name, Tomas. The next day, Javier went to Tomas' house. Again, turned on his computer and made many changes to his schedule. Since the schedule was sent to his mobile phone, his mobile alerts also changed. Because of this change, Tomas arrived very late to pick up his daughter from school. His wife and daughter, his whole family, were furious. Tomas was deeply upset that day. He was trying hard to fix things with his family. The next day, he again went to the rehab session where he met Javier once more. After the group discussion, they went back to a coffee shop where Tomas opened up to Javier about his family. He even showed him their picture and asked Javier to show a photo of his own family. Javier replied, "I don't have one right now, but I'll definitely show it tomorrow." Their friendship grew even stronger. Tomas invited Javier to his home. Javier felt so happy at that moment, as if a part of his mission had just succeeded. The next day, he reached his old house, Tomas' house, with a bouquet. There, he ran into his old gardener, who asked, "Who have you come to meet?" Javier didn't want anyone to know he had a connection with Tomas, so he replied, "Some of my documents still come to my old address. I just came to collect them." Then he entered the house. Tomas welcomed him warmly, still unaware that this house once belonged to Javier. Javier spent time talking with them, had dinner, and then left. The next day, as Tomas was leaving for the office, his gardener asked him, Did the old owner come by yesterday to pick up some bills? Thomas said. No, nothing like that happened. The gardener apologized and stepped aside, but he had sensed that something strange was going on in Javier's mind. He had visited Tomas, but clearly didn't want anyone to know about it. That same day, we see that Javier deliberately crashes his car. Then, he quickly calls Tomas for help. At that moment, Javier was holding a bottle of alcohol in his hand. Seeing this, Tomas assumed Javier had caused the accident while drunk. When Tomas took the bottle from Javier, some drops fell on him too. Tomas started explaining to him that despite joining rehab, if you continue like this, it's not going to help at all. Your addiction won't just disappear this way. Look, he said, I'm allergic to peanuts. If I eat even one peanut, I could die. You should think of drinking the same way. If you drink, it could kill you. Javier told him, I didn't want to drink, but when I came to your house yesterday, I saw how perfect your life is. You have a family, a career. You're the vice president of a company. But I don't have a job. My own family doesn't support me. I couldn't handle the sorrow, so I drank. Tomas replied, It's not as perfect as it looks. I've worked hard to balance everything. And the company I'm vice president of, it's not mine. It belongs to my father-in-law. Javier listened carefully and then said, Okay, I need your phone for a while. My battery's dead and I need to call for a tow truck. Tomas handed him the phone. But before calling, Javier secretly emailed something to himself, and we'll find out why later. He also made Tomas promise not to tell his wife anything about what happened. I don't know what you think of me, he said. Tomas agreed. But when he went home, his wife smelled alcohol on his clothes. She got furious. She felt like Tomas wasn't serious about his recovery, like he was falling back into his old habits that had already caused them so much pain. Tomas had no choice but to say it wasn't him who drank, it was Javier. He had only helped him. A little later, Javier received a call. It was from his old gardener. The gardener said, I know you went to see Tomas not to collect any mail. If you want me to keep quiet, meet me tomorrow. Javier had no choice but to go. The gardener said, I know your intentions with Tomas aren't good. If you don't want me to go to the police, you'll work for me. Bring me some clothes from Tomas' daughter. Hearing this, Javier was disgusted, but he didn't want to ruin his plan, so he agreed. He went to Tomas' house when no one was home. But he didn't carry it out because Tomas' wife returned unexpectedly. He was terrified. Ironically, Tomas' wife was about to call Javier. She wanted to talk to him. As she made the call, Javier's phone rang. She heard the ringtone, but dismissed it, thinking it was just her imagination. She went about her day and left. Javier was saved just barely. Later, we see Javier and Tomas' wife meeting in a restaurant. There, she told him, I don't want you to meet Tomas anymore. I don't want to get into any kind of trouble again. We barely survived the last time because of his drinking. Now, I don't want him relapsing again. Javier twisted the truth. He said, It wasn't me who drank. It was Tomas. Here, look at this email, he sent it to me, asking for help. It was actually the same email Javier had sent himself using Tomas' phone earlier. Everything had been pre-planned. Back at home, Tomas and his wife had a terrible argument, all because of this misunderstanding. Later, Javier received a package. Inside was pepper spray and peanut spray. Cleverly, he injected the peanut solution into the pepper spray and threw away the rest. He didn't know his wife was watching him. He wanted to give that spray to Tomas' wife. But when he suspected that his wife had started following him, he quickly went to his course center. His wife saw him sitting in class and felt relieved. She left. Afterward, Javier met the gardener again. He gave him Tomas' daughter's clothes. But now the gardener had a new demand. He wanted Javier to plant a camera in the girl's room. Javier now saw him as a threat. So, he killed the gardener in a way that made it look like an accident. No one suspected a thing. After this, Javier went to Tomas' office. He wanted to meet him, but Tomas was furious because Javier had lied to his wife the day before. In a fit of rage, Tomas beat him badly, so badly that Javier's face was covered in blood. Even in that condition, Javier didn't go for medical help. He went straight to Tomas' wife. He showed her his injuries and said, "Look what your husband did to me. He saw us at the restaurant and now he thinks we're having an affair. I feel like his drinking problem is getting worse. He might even hurt you someday." Then he gave her the pepper spray, the same one laced with peanut solution. After that, he returned home and told his wife, "I've got urgent work. I'm going out of the city for a few days." She kept asking where he was going, but he didn't answer and quickly left. Then, he called Tomas' wife and said, "I know you and your daughter are fans of gymnasts. I can introduce you to one." Excited, she agreed to go. They took a photo, with the gymnast posing like a family. Javier sent the photo to Tomas. Seeing that picture broke Tomas. He sank into sadness and drank again, for the first time in months. And this is what Javier had wanted. He wanted Tomas' wife to think he never stopped drinking. Before she could react, Tomas saw the three of them arriving home. Furious, he attacked his wife. In fear, she remembered the pepper spray. She pulled it from the drawer and sprayed him. But it wasn't just pepper. It was laced with peanut solution. Tomas had a violent allergic reaction. He couldn't breathe. His wife thought he was dead. Panicked, she called Javier. He rushed over, calmed her down, and sent her to another room. Then he checked Tomas. He was still alive, but struggling. Javier didn't want that. He smothered Tomas with his gloved hands, and that's how Tomas died. The scene then jumps forward several months. We learn that Javier now holds the position of vice president, the same role Tomas once had. He had married Tomas' wife. He now had the house, the job, the family, everything. Then, his ex-wife came to meet him. By now, Javier had already divorced her. She said, "I know you killed Tomas. I saw you mix the peanut spray. I can still go to the police." But Javier wasn't shaken. He told her, "Do whatever you want. If you care about your son's future, you won't, because I'll stop giving you money. If you push this further, I'll hire the best lawyers. And you'll get nothing." His ex-wife left quietly. Now Javier walked into his old house, the one he had once sold but now owned again. There, he lived with Tomas' wife and daughter, now his new family. Javier was finally content. His life was now complete. And this is how the movie ends.